After sharing hundreds of recipes here on my channel over the last few years, there's bound to be a few fan favorites, so I asked you guys last week to let me know what those were, and I put them all in a video, at least some of them, for y'all today. So on this Thursday, we're gonna throw it back and I'm gonna bring you some fan favorites. Hey y'all, welcome back. My name's Jen. If you're new here, welcome. Like I said, today is all about the fan favorites, what you guys said were your favorite recipes I've ever shared here on my channel. So if you're new here, you're in for a treat because a lot of these are also some of my personal favorites. And if you are returning, I guarantee there's at least one recipe in this video today that you've probably forgotten about. So let's get on into these fan favorite recipes. So if you have never made homemade Alfredo, I'm here to tell you it is so easy. It only involves these few ingredients right here and is so much better than the jarred kind. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but this is just so much easier. If you try this one time, you will probably never buy the jarred kind again because it's just that easy. So all you need are 3 ounces of cream cheese. I'm using the 1/3 fat. You'll need some shredded Parmesan cheese. You can shred your own, but I think the bag kind works fine. You're gonna need 3/4 of a stick of butter, a small carton of heavy whipping cream, and some garlic. Okay, so you're gonna start by just melting your butter in a big pan. You're gonna add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. And I just let that cook for a couple minutes. You don't want the garlic to burn. You just kind of want to open up the flavor of the garlic. When you start to smell the garlic, you're going to go ahead and add in your cream cheese. Alright, so I have added in my 3 ounces of cream cheese. And you just want to continuously whisk this so that butter and garlic doesn't burn. And it's going to help the cream cheese melt. And as you can see, it looks kind of clumped up right now, but not to worry, it'll all come together and it'll be really smooth. So just want to keep whisking that. And when you see it's pretty much all melted like this, it's gonna look a little clumpy. Then you're gonna go ahead and add in your Parmesan cheese. All right, same kind of thing. I've added in my Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna kind of whisk it around a little bit. It is going to be pretty sticky at this point. Just going to whisk it around. And then you're going to add in your heavy cream slowly. Alright, so once the cheese is all melted, then I'm going to go ahead and add in the last half of heavy cream. And that's literally it. This comes together so quick. This can easily be made on a weeknight. Alright, so you can see it looks pretty smooth and cheesy. Definitely needs that last half of whipping cream. And of course you can add in as much or as little cream as you need, and then if you still want it thinner you can add milk. But I find that this little carton of whipping cream is just the perfect amount. This seriously comes out perfect every single time. And it tastes just like, or in my opinion, better than Olive Garden. So I'm just going to stir this around and I'm going to let it kind of simmer. Except I don't really want it to be too hot. I don't want it to burn. But I'm going to let it warm, I should say, for about, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. Just until my noodles are finished cooking. And we like the penne noodles better. Well, I do. Because they hold the sauce better. And that is the star of the show. So that's what I really want to taste. Next up, we have caramel apple dump cake. And oh my goodness, y'all gotta make this. Y'all gotta make it this weekend. So we're gonna start with 2 cans of apple pie filling. We're just gonna dump that into a 9x13. So once you have all your apples in your dish and just spread it out pretty evenly, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of caramel, which one do y'all say? I say caramel sauce. I just heated mine up in the microwave to make it a little bit easier to kind of just drizzle over. On top of the caramel, we're going to add a sprinkle of nutmeg, a sprinkle of allspice, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Next, you're going to get a box of butter pecan cake mix. We're going to dump this entire thing right over top of the apples. Next, we're going to take about 1 stick of butter, cutting it into thin little slivers, and we're going to place this all over top of that cake mix, being sure not to leave any large gaps in between, because this butter is going to melt all down over this cake mix and apples. And oh my gosh, did I tell y'all need to make that this weekend? You really do. And lastly, we're going to add about 1/2 cup to a cup of chopped pecans, and this is going to bake in the oven for about 50 minutes. So when this bakes in the oven, a little bit of magic happens. I'm telling you guys, this was delicious. I'm not even a huge cooked apple fan, but that cake mix and butter and pecans all did something so good. It was almost like a praline topping on top of those apples. And of course, we topped with some vanilla ice cream, and this was the absolute perfect fall dessert. The ingredients you will need, it actually calls for 4 cans of green beans, but that will make a ton, obviously. So for my family of 4, I have 2 small kids and my husband, we will just need the 2 cans. You will need a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. You will need some soy sauce, 1/4 cup, but we'll just use a little less than that. A 1/2 stick of butter. The recipe calls for garlic powder, but I am out of garlic powder, so I'm just going to use some minced garlic like this. And then you're going to need some bacon. It calls for 1/2 pound. Let this all melt down together. I'm going to give it a stir. Make sure to keep an eye on it because that brown sugar and butter can burn. So once it all gets melted and combined, then I'm just going to pour it over the green beans, which I'll show y'all in just a second. Alright, one thing I just like to do, you don't have to, but I always rinse my green beans anytime I'm using canned. I just kind of like to get that canned green bean taste out of there, so that's what I do. Alright, so my mixture is all combined. It's starting to simmer a little bit. So I got my green beans in just a little pan like this, a little baking dish. If you're using 4 cans, you can use a 9 by 13. I'm just using basically half of that, whatever that measurement is. So I'm just pouring my sauce right over my green beans. Okay, and I like to just kind of toss the green beans to get them nice and coated. And then next, I just cut up my bacon over here. Just kind of chopped it up into little pieces like that. I just put 3 slices. I'm just gonna put it all over the top. All right, so you can see the bacon in there getting a little crispy, but we like it pretty crispy, so I'm gonna leave it just a few more minutes. It's probably been in there about 30 minutes already. But just leave it in there until it's crispy as you like it. It's almost done. Alright, just pull out the green beans from the oven. So that's what they look like when you pull them out. Looks so good. So yeah, I hope you guys give this recipe a try. Cherry cream cheese Danishes, which are a family favorite. So you're just going to start with a little bit of powdered sugar and milk to make your glaze. I used heavy cream because I just had some. You're just going to cover this and set this to the side because we won't use it until the Danishes cool. Next, we're going to use 2 packages of crescent rolls. I'm just going to open those up and I'm going to slice each roll into 11 slices. Once I have the crescent rolls all sliced up, I am just trying to make the shape of a Christmas tree. And this is what we always do in our family, but technically you could do this in any shape you wanted. I've seen it done in a candy cane shape or a wreath. Either way you do it, it'll be really cute. And the most important thing is it's gonna taste good. So anyway, I finally get my Christmas tree how I want it. And I also want to tell you guys really quick, you could do this part and make the glaze and all the steps separately the night before, and then you just have to put it together in the morning. So next we're going to make our cream cheese filling. We're going to take 1 block of cream cheese. I like to just soften mine in the microwave. We're going to add sugar, vanilla extract, and some almond extract. We're just going to beat that all together until it's smooth. You're going to want to kind of press down the middle of each little crescent roll. I find it easiest just to use my thumb, and then we're going to go back and add just a little bit of our cream cheese mixture into each one. You will use all of this, and then next you're going to take a can of cherry pie filling and just put a cherry or 2 on each little circle, and you won't use your entire can of pie filling, so you can just save that to use for something else. These are going to bake at 350 degrees for 20 minutes, and when they come out of the oven, I like to warm up the glaze just a little bit and kind of drizzle that over the whole Christmas tree. Alrighty y'all, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some of these fan favorite recipes. Maybe you've even tried 1 or 2 yourself. Comment down below and let me know if you have, or what is your other favorite recipe you've seen here on my channel. I hope if you're new, you will subscribe before you go. I hope you're all doing amazing, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.